video, we have studied about heredity. Today we are going to take information about evolution. What is meant by evolution? Evolution means continuous, gradual. Gradual means very slow. Continuous, gradual change occurring in living organisms over a long period is called evolution. One more time I am going to tell you that evolution means continuous change. There is a gradual means very slow change occurring in living organisms, means all kind of living organisms, means it is in plant, it is in animal. Over a long period means from number of years there is a change occurring, that is called evolution. Now, what is the reason of change? Why is evolution take place? Changes are coming in the living organisms. Its reason is that physical environment, change in physical environment means there is change in temperature, there is change in airy condition means change in atmosphere. When there is change take place in atmosphere, or sudden conditions like earthquake or volcano, means whenever there is a change take place in the physical environment, means if nature is changed, then there is need that anyhow living organism must adjust with changed situation. Means nature want to select the living organisms under its different conditions. So evolution is the response for natural selection. Evolution is the response for natural selection. Now we have seen that what is meant by evolution, what are the reasons for evolution. Now we have to go back 3.5 billion years ago. What was the position before 3.5 billion years ago? What I am going to tell you that how at present whatever our stage is found, this stage is formed. If we want to see the history behind this stage, then we should go back 3.5 billion years ago. Then before 3.5 billion years ago, there was no life on earth. What I told you, there was no life on earth. What was that? There was ocean and only land was present. Two things were present. One is ocean and second one is the land. Then there were simple elements present. Simple elements were present in ocean. These simple elements reacted each other, and from it life means reacted and compounds are formed. When due to environmental changes, due to atmospheric changes, or because of variation in the temperature, these simple elements reacted each other and compounds are formed. What are that compounds are protein. That compounds are protein and nucleic acid is formed. From this protein and nucleic acid, protoplasm, that is called life substance. That is called life substance formed. And then from this life substance, unicellular organism is developed. Understand what I told? There was no life on the earth before 3.5 billion years ago. Then there was ocean and land. In the ocean there were simple elements. The simple elements came together, reaction took place, compound substances are formed that are protein and nucleic acid. This is the base of the cell. This is the base of the cell, or this is the base of the life. Then from protein and nucleic acid, that is called a protoplasm or life substance. From this life substance, unicellular organisms are developed in water or developed in ocean. Understand? By this way, evolution means our journey at this stage, whatever we are, then this journey starts from 3.5 billion years ago, and it starts from no existence of life to existence of life. Now, then there is a natural theory, evolution theory. What is comes under evolution theory? In evolution theory, first from simple element, compound substances are formed. From compound, then protein, nucleic acid. From protein, nucleic acid, protoplasm, unicellular, and then higher level, unicellular organisms are developed. First, protista. Protista means what? Protista means protozoan animal. Protozoa. Proto means first and zoa means animal. Those animals born first time in this world, they are called protozoan animal. Then what are the examples of protozoa? Amoeba, then paramecium, plasmodium, euglena are the examples of the protozoan animals. Similar way, in case of the plant also, evolution took place, and in plant from unicellular plant like chlorella, unicellular plant like chlorella till banyan tree, that is the journey starts is from, in case of plants also, first from protoplasm, chlorella is formed. Chlorella is a unicellular plant. Then multicellular plants are developed, and from higher multicellular plants till very big plants like banyan trees are evolved. Therefore, according to evolution theory, protoplasm or life substance to unicellular organism, and unicellular to multicellular organism, and even in multicellular organism, some higher level multicellular organisms are developed, and from them that some different kind of diversities came into the existence. Therefore, progressive development in living organisms, progressive development in living organisms, in case means in plant and animal, as their functional and structural organization. What I told? Progressive development in living organism as their functional and structural organism came into existence. came into existence is called evolution. And to take place this evolution, progress was, however, there was a progressive organization was developed. It took near about 300 crore years. Means multicellular higher level from unicellular organism to multicellular organism with different organ system and functions. How many period was passed? Near about 300 crore, and that's why in the beginning it is said that evolution is a gradual change occurring. Means this evolution is a very, very slow process. Thus, the evolution took place in multicellular living organism from amoeba to dinosaur or up till human being, elephant, giraffe, etc. Very big animals are now found at present. And in case of plant also, from chlorella to banyan tree, these are the very big plants are developed. Then it's a journey took 300 crore years. And then what is the evidence for it? Science want the reason, because Roger Bacon tells us that we should have to accept the things which have correct reasons. So if there is no reason, if there is no correct explanation, no one can accept it. And therefore then, for the evolution theory, science also gives evidence. So we will look at evidences in evolution. So first evidence, science gives first evidence about a morphological study. This morphological characters. What is meant by morphology? Morphology means study of external body features of a living organism. External body features means how are my hands, how is my body, how are my hair, how is my nose. Means studying externally whatever the characters are looking, that outside features or external body features are studied under the branch of science that is called morphology. So under this morphological evidences, what is told in your textbook that there are 3 animals are taken. Suppose one is there, or we will take any animal, cat, fox and a dog. Then what are the external features in the cat? Cat has one head, correct? One head. There are 2 ears. One to each side. Then 2 eyes. Eyes are present in the cat. Yes. Nose and 2 nostrils are present. 2 nostrils means these are the 2 nostrils are present in most of the living organisms. Then nostrils, face, teeth, tongue. Besides that, again, what is that? Body is covered with hair. Okay. Then 4 legs. 4 legs are present. Yes. Tail is there. Yes. Means look, when we are studying about the morphological structure of the cat, then it has 1 head, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose with 2 nostrils, 1 face, teeth, tongue, hair, and 4 legs and tail. These are the body features are found in the cat. Then is it there in fox or not? Yes. Is there head? Yes. ears, eyes, ears, nose, ears. Each and everything is also found in the dogs. If you go in case of the dog, then all these body features are present in the dog. Now you go in monkey. If you go in monkey, then in monkey also all these features are found. Means if external all these features are found in all living organisms, means they have common origin. They have common origin. Means all these animals are evolved from their ancestor, from their common ancestor. Their parents are same. Who we don't know, but from common ancestor, from common origin, cat, fox, dog, monkey, or rest of the animals are developed. This is the morphological evidence. Now, second evidence, anatomy. We will study about anatomical evidence. What is meant by anatomy? What is meant by anatomy? Anatomy means study of internal division, study of internal organs. Anatomy means study of internal organs. That is called anatomy. So then we will take examples of the leg of human being. What is the structure of a leg? This is higher, this is thigh region, it is very big and large bone. Then here is knee, and then knee, there is lower leg which is little bit narrow than this one. And there are number of joints are found after at the ankle there are joints, and after ankle in the feet there are number of joints, small joints are found. At last there are fingers, and that fingers has also number of joints. Then if you take about the leg of any animal like a donkey, that it has also very long bone. Then there is knee, then afterwards there is lower limb, and then there is a structure whose are present in case of the in case of the donkey, but it has also joints. Here are also number of joints are found. If you take about the field structure of or you go in back, in case of back, there is a very long bone, then afterwards there is again a small bone, and there are number of joints are found in the bones of the wings of a bat. Now similar way, if you take about the cow or buffalo, again there is long bone, then knee, and then small narrow bone, and then afterwards there is a hoof. Means what happened here when we are studying about these different animals, internal structure of the different animals. In your textbook is also mentioned. You may see figure number 1.5. Human hands example is given. Here I have taken example of leg. Here I took example of donkey, wings of bat, and leg of cow. And here hands or fins structures are observed. Then if you observe everywhere there are same kind of structure found and same number of joints or same kind of joints are found in the bones. Even there are wings or even there are fins. Then in case of the feet structure or in case of the wing structure, or even though it is in leg structure, there are number of joints are found. It means that all these animals have their common origin. Means morphological studies tells that they have common origin. Anatomical studies tells us that they have common origin. Now we are going to study about vestigial organs. Evidence in vestigial organ. But before looking this, we have to see that what is meant by vestigial organ. What is meant by vestigial organ? Vestigial organ means what? Vestigial organ vestigial organ means degenerated or underdeveloped, useless, degenerated or underdeveloped, useless organ in living organism is called vestigial organa. Then which are the vestigial organs? Which organs are degenerated? In human being, if you think about the human being, then we had a tail. Crore of years ago, if we go, then we have tail, but now tail is not remained with us. But when we study about the 33 vertebral columns, in the vertebral column there are 33 vertebrae, and at last the last 5 vertebrae it has coccyx. This tail is fused in the last 5 bones of our backbone or vertebral column, that is called a coccyx. Then this now tail was not suitable to us, and therefore it was disappeared. Why is disappeared? Because we came from evolution took place, and we came down and we started to live on the land from tree, and therefore tail was after certain years disappeared, but the base of the tail is still remained with human being. So at present this coccyx is a useless organ to us. Now second one is that you know that there is a long or large intestine. At the end of the large intestine there is one muscular outgrowth. It is called appendix. This appendix, which is a specific kind of outgrowth, comes from larger intestine. This appendix is also vestigial organ. Why it is vestigial organ? Because at present human being is eating very less herbal things. We do not eat green vegetables, we do not eat grass. So those animals are depending totally for green vegetables, green grasses, etc. Means those animals are eating plant material. They are in need of the appendix, because if we also started to eat the grass, then appendix is most important also. Ruminant animals. What is meant by ruminant animals? Ruminant animal means example buffalo, cow, goat, horse. These all animals are eating first very fast. They eat leafy vegetables, they eat grass, and then they store in one part of the stomach, and when they are taking rest, at the time of rest they are again bringing that food which was stored in the first part of the stomach. They are calling it, they are taking it into the mouth, and they started to chew it, they are grinding, and after grinding they are sending to the next part for digestion. So these animals are called ruminant animals, and its example is their cow, buffalo, etc. Then they are in need of appendix. Without appendix, this cow or buffalo means ruminant animals cannot digest their food. But as we are not eating now, our life is not dependent upon plant, and therefore appendix is useless into us. Sometimes then this appendix grows little bit more. When it grows more than its capacity, and sometimes pulses get formed, or it get infection, and after infection then pulses formed, or when it grows more than its sufficient level or more than capacity, then it starts to pain, and the doctor says that you have got appendicitis, there is need to cut it. Even though this appendix is cut from our large intestine, then also we can survive our life properly. That's why appendix is a vestigial organ. But we have appendix, ruminant animals have appendix, other animals have appendix. Then here tail is there. At present you are looking different animals. That animals have, now also they have tail, and we have bottom of the tail. Means we have common origin. Our ancestor is one. Then again there is wisdom teeth. Example of wisdom teeth is also given under the vestigial organ. When you are completing 18 years of your age, then two teeth are developed. They are called wisdom teeth. This wisdom teeth though comes or do not come, though they can, no problem. If they do not come, if they do not appear, no effect takes place. Means either they should come or they should not come. It has no effect on our life. Means it is useless. Though it is useful, though it is not there, no problem. Sometimes we are removing some of the teeth, then also it does not affect. Means at last wisdom teeth or other teeth are also part of vestigial organ, means useless organs. Now think about this external pinna. This external pinna is there. This pinna is also useless part to us. In case of the buffalo, cow or elephant, this external pinna is useful to them to collect the sound. But our structure is made evolved such a way that we are going to collect, our ears are collecting sound waves from all sides. But in case of animals, some animals it does not count, and therefore their external pinna is active. It moves backside. This it moves in near about 120 degree, might be in 120 degree angle, and therefore they don't have vestigial organ. But in our body, this external pinna is a vestigial organ. Let it be. Means here ear pinna, wisdom teeth, then appendix, and these coccix. These all parts are common, like other animals with us also. Means all these things are telling that we have common origin. We have common origin. Our ancestor is same. This is also, this vestigial organ is also one of the important evidence that we have common origin. We have developed from same ancestor. Now next evidence is given to us about the paleontology. Paleontological studies also paleontology. What is meant by paleontology? Paleontology means fossils. Study of fossils is called paleontology. Study of fossils is called paleontology, and fossil means what? Past remains of living organisms. This when sudden activities like earthquake take place, or because of volcanic activity, or because of sudden sliding of ground or land, living organisms had got buried under the ground and their impressions are remained. And so when we started to dig it, when human being has done the study, then he has found some past remains of unicellular organisms or snails. Then afterwards he has found the remains of reptile amphibians. Then he has found the remains of reptiles. Then at the upper level or at the upper layer of this earth crust, he has found the structure or remains or fossils of the aves and mammals. Means this study, paleontological study, tells us that first living organisms is unicellular organisms are formed from unicellular organisms in vertebrate animals. Invertebrate animals are evolved, and from this is Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and there is a name, I think I have to check it back. Cenozoic. Again, one is there, era, Cenozoic. According to this paleontology, there are three eras: Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. Then in Paleozoic, there were invertebrate animals developed from unicellular organisms. Then from these animals like reptiles and amphibians and arthropods, like that animals are developed in Mesozoic era, and from this Mesozoic era, aves and mammals are developed. At last means aves, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, arthropoda, annelida, whatever animals are there, all these animals have common origin. Means our ancestor is means paleontological evidences also supporting for the evolution that we have developed from unicellular living organism. Now next one supporter is given, or next evidences is found about the connecting links. We study about the connecting links. Connecting links. What is meant by connecting links? Means there are different kind of body characters shown by different organisms. So the body features, whatever body structure, external body structure, from this external body structure we are shown related to different groups. For example, our body structure of arthropoda animals, body structure of some other animals have different, and we have different organs. Their functions are also different, and that's why we are placed in different groups. And these different groups are connected to each other. That is called connecting links. So, different living organisms have different body structures, their characters, their external characters shows the relation with two different groups of organisms. This is called connecting link. This is called connecting link. See what I told? Living organisms have different body structures. So these body characters shows the relation with two different groups. Means we have certain relation, our body characters and the body characters of other living organisms have little similarity, or there be similarity, shows the relationship between them, and that's why these are called a connecting link. Then how connecting links means how these animals have different characters, but how they have some similar characters, and that's why after connecting to each other they have common origin. Its example is given. For example, peripatus. Peripatus is an animal. Peripatus is an animal which has segmented body. Thin cuticle membrane, segmented body, and structure like parapodia are present. Means these are the characters of group of animals like Annelida. These are the characters of the group of Annelida. But one more character is found in this peripatus is that it has transparent circulatory, transparent open circulatory system. Transparent open circulatory system. And besides that, it has tracheal respiration. Tracheal respiration means it has tracheal respiration and open circulatory, transparent circulatory system. These are characters are found in Arthropoda. Therefore, peripatus is the link between Annelida and Arthropoda. This peripatus animal has a common origin because it has characters of Annelida as well as Arthropoda. This has common origin. Or the animals which comes under the Arthropoda, or animal comes in the other animals comes in the group of Annelida have common origin. Then another one example is there given them by platypus. This platypus is a reptile. Is a reptile animal, means it crawls. It has all characters. It has all characters of reptile animal, but their body possesses mammary glands. Their body possesses mammary glands. Therefore, this platypus is a connecting link between reptile and mammalia. Reptiles and mammalia. Then another one example is mentioned in your textbook is that fish lungfish. I think it is called lungfish. Yes, lungfish. What about this lungfish? Almost all fishes are respiring with respiration take place, breathing take place by fishes. Fishes breathes from their gill slits, but these fish takes oxygen, gives out carbon dioxide with the help of lungs. These lungs are present in it, and lungs are present in mammalia. Mammalian animals breathe with the help of respires with the help of lung, but fish belongs to Pisces. Means fish is an amphibian animal. Fish is an amphibious animal, and then means lungfish is the connecting link between mammalia and amphibian. Means these different connecting links are showing that though these animals are different, they have common origin. They have common origin. Do you understand? Now then, we are going to study one more example. One more evidence is mentioned. That example is taken. That evidence is given from embryological study. We will study first what is meant by embryo. Embryological evidence. Embryological evidence. Embryo is what? First we must know what is meant by embryo. Embryo means zygote. How is zygote formed? When male gamete and female gamete. When male gamete and female gamete fuse together, means union of male and female gamete forms zygote. Then this zygote is called embryo. The embryo of all the different animals. Now I am going to use your textbook. You may also see in 1.10 because there are 8 animals and each animal's 3 stages are mentioned. Means there are 24 embryological pictures are shown in this textbook. Figure number in 1.10. Here fish, embryo of fish, salamander, tortoise, chicken, pig, cow, rabbit and man are mentioned. If you observe the first stage of the all animals like embryo then rabbit and man, they all are looking similar. There is no difference at all. When in the case of second step also see, their embryological development slowly take place, but they also look similar. Even in the third step also, the body structure is near about same. Means this embryological study tells us that all these animals, though they belongs to reptile, though they belongs to amphibious animal, though they belongs to the mammalian animal, they have common origin. Their ancestor is same. By this way, here we have studied about the evidences of evolution.